with problems up and down, but we're disturbed that we have not been able to do anything. In the history of Nigeria, religious leaders play a lot of positive role that used to change things in wherever we find ourselves. Why is it that today we are not doing the right thing? Today, we'll be discussing the role of religious leaders in ensuring peace and security on Abrahamic Mission. My name is Imam Fuad Adeyemi, and with me to discuss this in the studio are those faces that you are always willing to see and you are happy to see their faces. I will start with my brother, my friend, who is the co-executive director of Interfaith Mediation Center in Kaduna, Pastor Dr. James Muvel Wuye. You are welcome to this program.
Thank you. Peace be with you all that are watching and listening.
Thank you so much. And my senior brother, who usually do whatever he likes to be, is also co-executive director of Interfaith Mediation Center in Kaduna, Imam Dr. Muhammad Nurain Ashafa. Imam, you are welcome.
Viewers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, let me quickly explain. You discover I give the two of them the same address. There is Interfaith Mediation Center in Kaduna, where a pastor and a Muslim imam are working together. The pastor is Pastor James, and the imam is Imam Dr. Afa. You have seen. They are working together. The two of them are the co-executive director, and they've been doing wonderful things. Together, we are going to discuss the role of religious leaders in ensuring peace, because they have not only preached it, they have done it. And we will take from my experience and exposure to discuss this so that we'll be able to know where we go. But before we go into them, I will read some messages which we have received. You may be interested in some of the messages I will be reading. So this one says, "Good morning, Nigerian. My name is Monday Okugun. I'm Nigerian living in South Africa. I'm so happy to see you. All topic you are standing in love of Nigeria. Thank you so much." This one says, "I'm Nuhu Samson Michelia from Maiduguri. Abrahamic Mission has created a very cordial relationship between me and my Muslim friends, to the extent that I can attend their religious program and they also attend mine. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you for such a wonderful program." I think I will congratulate you too, because we have been part of the program together. Thank you, my brother Nuhu Michelia. We appreciate you. Please keep the good work going, expand it, call your people to watch when it's on. This one say, "Good evening, sir. I really appreciate the program. Please keep it up. I'm enjoying the program. May God bless you all. Sediga de Pepe from Mina, Niger State." That is the name he writes. This one says, "My name is Sani Oyars from Ogba, Lagos. Our leaders who govern us can listen to this program, Nigeria will be better place for all and sundry. Thank you." I say, "What an interesting program. I wish Nigeria could learn and inculcate all teachings tonight. God bless you guys. God bless Nigeria. Ben from Lagos." My own contribution is that you, the moderator, is also digital. You are the reason for this program. May God bless your generation. Thank you. So I don't quickly understand what he's trying to. No, it's not me. Those who are actually doing the work are our guests that they come. No matter what the moderator wants to do, if the guests are not giving us what we're supposed to do, I think the moderator cannot do anything. Pastor, do you agree with me?
Not entirely, because the moderator also is sound and he's current.
And indeed, he's digital. In this era, religious leader, most of them are analog. Guy is a digital imam.
No. Imam Nurakali is the one that we know as digital imam. My name is Bidiki Samuel from Delta State. So patriotism is love, is absolute concern for country and citizens. This program should be made compulsory for all states in Nigeria. Thank you.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Thank you for that.
This one says, "My name is Olukorede. I live in Kaduna." I think definitely you know this faces if you live in Kaduna. "This is Godly Sent program. Can you please translate it to the 3 major languages in Nigeria? Thank you. God bless Nigeria."
I think this is possible if Nigerians who are committed to peace process are able to sponsor these programs, especially the English translation in all the other stations. I think this is what we needed to put our country together.
Somebody has even mentioned that we should most of the episode we should put it on CD, and people can sponsor it so that we give to people in churches and the mosque for them to listen to. So we are waiting. We can see people who can actually do that for us, so that we can produce in thousands some of the episodes we have done, and you can also watch it on YouTube. It's on YouTube already. Just go to YouTube, click Abrahamic Mission.
This confirms your digital imam. You use YouTube. But the most important thing here for me is that we need brothers to support this initiative, so that the more of these messages sent across, the more life you are able to save, and the more peace and security our nation becomes.
Thank you.
I think you should add sisters.
Oh, okay.
Because when you say just brothers, it means there are no women in this country who can contribute to such a project.
Do you know women do better than men now? The little money women have, they give it. Thanks. We are waiting. Please, you can call us on this number 070 449 449. Let me come again. 070 449 449. You can call us or text, send a text, whatever you want to do, we'll get back to you. This one says, good morning, my fathers. God's power, Aishaya from Kaduna. I'm very happy with your program. I pray such kind of program will circulate in all the 36 states of Nigeria, so we can be united as one and love one another as one, and know that God we are serving is one. With that, Nigeria will be united in peace.
Amen.
Another one, right? He said, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bless and protect you all for hosting this program that provides awareness to the team population of Nigeria about the need for peace and unity among us. You know, I'm watching the program live from Ghana. Well done, Mr. Moderator. Our religious leaders preach the same in the churches and mosques. Also, stop worshipping the political office holders or honoring them with titles because of donation or money from Isaac Shedo. I don't know whether it's a Ghanaian name.
Yes.
This one says, good evening, sir. My name is Joseph from Lagos. In fact, all the episodes of your program that I've watched are educating and insightful. Please keep it. God bless you. Thank you. So, this one says, we have had people, non-Muslim, killed because they urinate. Oh, I like this question. Imam, listen to this carefully, and I want you to listen to. He said, we have had non-Muslim killed because they urinate around the in the mosque. Thanks, Dixon from River. Do you get the question?
Absolutely. Dixon from River State.
Okay.
This question you asked, finding somebody urinating around the mosque and getting killed has nothing to do with Islam. In fact, the Prophet has demonstrated that opposite. Something similar to this happened during the life of the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad. And somebody come from the village. He came to see the Prophet himself. He just came and walked into the mosque. And he want to urinate. He's a non-Muslim. At that point in time, he just stay inside the mosque, one side of the mosque, inside the mosque, and urinate inside the Prophet mosque.
He urinated in the mosque?
He urinated inside the mosque, not outside the mosque. And the companion were very angry. They rise up to beat him, and the Prophet stopped them immediately. And what he told them is, look, go and put water in that particular place. Go and wet the place with water to wash away the acid of his urine and the smell away. And after the man said that, after the man finished, he sat down calmly by the Prophet's side. And then he asked them, he said, look, this man you saw, then the Prophet preached to him, console and said, look, you don't urinate here because we pray in this particular place. And the next thing is, oh, God bless the Prophet and me alone. Man, those people who want to beat me up. And this shows the significance of saying the Prophet of Islam is the most highly, the most tolerant, the most acceptable of diversity in the world we live in that I have seen so far. So he discouraged people from harming innocent persons, even when they have desecrate the holiest of holies. That is what the Prophet did. So if anybody, a Muslim today, go and beat up somebody, before he desecrated sacred places, then and then that person is not acting out of Islam. He's acting out of house of what? Ignorance, or certain degrees of problem he has within himself. So for us as Muslims, and even as people of faith, the level of tolerance of Muhammad is incompatible with what that particular behavior of that particular person, whoever they are, who attack the innocent person.
This one say, thank you, sir. This one, his name is Simeon Ojo from Modakeke in Osun State. He said, why is it that we Christians, we don't eat the food given to us by Muslims, especially during their Salah?
Well, as this is quite ignorance. Like he talked about the Prophet of Islam, also Jesus Christ, when he was being arrested, the church, the synagogue guard chopped his ear. He took back the ear and told Peter, I am not for war, I am for peace. Put back your sword. If I need 10,000 angels, God will have sent them to fight for me. He replaced the ear of that servant of the guard of the synagogue. That is the same. He is for peace. Even a fleece he could not break. But coming to eating food, when you say you will not eat, we are told clearly in the Bible that if a food is presented to you by whoever, he says just pray thanksgiving and eat the food. Simple. So why is it that a Muslim gives you food that you will not eat? Why? It's because of ignorance. The Muslim that you didn't know, and they say somebody that you don't even know, if it belongs to another tradition or religion, he prays food before you. Give thanks and eat. So that guy who is not eating is ignorant. He needs to know that a Muslim is his neighbor, and in the concept of neighbor, he should participate in the happiness, in the sadness, in the food, and any celebration that his neighbor is celebrating.
Thank you. Muslim too, do you eat Christian food?
Absolutely. Every Muslim, it is a Quranic direct injunctions that says you can eat the food. It is allowed for you to eat the food of your Christian neighbors. The Christians and the Jewish neighbor, whenever they give you food, eat their food. It is legitimate to eat their food, to relate to them, to even be their in-law. This is allowed in Islam. So you cannot, no justification for any Muslim to say, I'm not going to eat a food prepared by a Christian, except what is vivid when he prepares something that is haram Islamically. What is haram Islamically?
What do you mean by haram? I don't know.
So
haram.
what is prohibited in Islamic traditions? For example, if somebody slaughter a pig and tell you to eat, then you say, no, I don't eat pigs. And that is a different thing. But any food that is allowed in Islam, prepared by a Christian or a Jew, you are entitled to eat that food without asking questions. It is legitimate. This is Quran chapter 5, where Allah is telling that very clearly to all of us.
We as Nigerians, we need to know more about our religion. Pastor said you can eat that. In fact, is it must? You said when a Muslim gives you food that it is allowed, you can eat it
straight.
You say straight. In fact,
exactly.
And Imam also said, according to their own Quran, you can eat from what the Christian gives you food.
Eat the food.
He said even from the Quran, not even.
This is Quranic directly got.
So we should understand that ourselves. We don't have cause to be enemy. We don't have cause to be not to befriend ourselves in the name of thinking that you know your religion. Let me read more observation before we go on a short break. Now I say, Ali Abubakar Mohammed, Mr. Moderator, your guests are really equipped in knowledge and wisdom. May God increase them on both. Please, they should extend this to their congregation at mosque and churches. I hope you are hearing. Let me quickly take that and say, my name is Elijah from Duse in Abuja. Applaud to you and your team. The little problem I still face with concerning this good program is that those that really need this education are not sitting in front of a TV set, but on the streets and under the bridges. The non-educated and unexposed hooligan. Keep up the good work. Hopefully, it will get across Nigeria and Nigerians. Thank you.
I think this is a very important thing. That's why you have listened. It is your duty to share those knowledge you receive. Share and talk with your neighbor. And then you have had this NTA. So in the light of this, please and please, brothers, you have to respect brothers.
I will take this last message. This is a good and noble program that will bring peace and harmony. Keep it up. God bless you all. Dr. Oyelami from Odeomu, University of Lagos. I don't know the meaning of this. He said, Dr. Oyelami, University of Lagos. Let me remove the audio there. I think he's a lecturer in the University of Lagos. Yes. Well, with this, we will go on a short break until we come back to discuss the main topic of the day.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your pride or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Back. If you are just joining us, this is Abrahamic Mission, and today we are discussing the role of religious leaders in ensuring peace and security in our nation. Joining me in the studio to discuss this is Imam Dr. Muhammad Nurain Nashafa, Executive Director, Interfaith Mediation Center in Kaduna. Imam, welcome.
Thank you very much, viewers.
And his twin brother is Pastor Dr. James Movell, who is also the Co-Executive Director, Interfaith Mediation Center in our own Kaduna, Nigeria. You are welcome.
Thank you, viewers, for listening and participating.
I've explained the other time, the Faith Mediation Center is a center where Muslim and Christian come together to ensure peace, not just only in Kaduna, not just in Nigeria, but throughout the world. The peacemakers, you are welcome once again.
Thank you.
You are both religious leaders. We have pastors, we have imams. Do we need pastors at all?
What a question. We need pastors because pastors are shepherds.
Okay.
In even Arabic, they call ra'in or al-is, meaning a shepherd.
This
that takes
pastor
care.
turned to an Arabic scholar.
I study because I need to know the faith of my brother so that I can relate with my brothers and sisters of other faith with understanding.
This is wonderful.
And that's what I mean. For the past 25 years, we're in our 26 years, building together, living in the same office, the pastor, the imam, imam and pastor, men and women, boys and girls in that center talking about peace. Why do you say we need a pastor? We need a pastor because the pastor is a guide, is a shepherd that needs to put his congregation vis-a-vis the sheep that the Almighty has given him care after, to put them on the path that they will not have harm, they will not heal, they will not fall sick, they will not hurt themselves, and they will not cause pain to others, because it is the holistic message that the pastor have is love, 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 and that is what he is supposed to preach, teach, and guide his people.
Imam, is Imam necessary?
Absolutely. He just like he's a pilot necessary.
We want
or
to
is
know.
the driver necessary?
Tell us why we need
The
them.
most important thing why you need an imam is that it's your spiritual guide. Secondly, it's a shepherd, as my colleagues have said. Thirdly, and very importantly, he's a role model. He is a whistleblower. In fact, he's a referee. He's a referee who guides from what is right and what is wrong. What you need to do righteously right and what you need to avoid in your journey of life. To meet up your spiritual journey, he's the umpire to help you. How do you connect between you and the divine, between you and fellow human being, between you and environment and nature all around you? That is the role of an imam. He's the second teacher. After your father and your mother, the next teacher is the imam. He's always there for you to lead you through.
If I want to marry, what the two of you have said together is that the imam imam and the pastor, in summary, the religious leader, they are just deputizing for God.
Watchmen, look, hearing from God, telling people without compromise the whole truth, even if it hurts. The truth must be told, and that's what a pure real pastor, Bible practicing pastor does. He does not polish. He lets his truth straight, even if it hurts. He wants to guide you into the eternal glory after you have transited the world.
That what you are saying just led me to the question I want to ask you. What are the qualities of somebody that you can see this is a religious leader? What can we see in him? What does it say this is a pastor? What can we see? No, this is a pastor. Somebody has guided us in using the word good. When you are a pastor, you are supposed to be naturally good. So how do we see when you see someone say, oh, he's a pastor, he's a religious leader? What do we see in such a person?
We have it in 1 Timothy 3. The qualities of a leader in the Bible. It talks about he must be somebody who is not double-tongued. He is not a striver. He's not the one that causes fight. He is a master of what he teaches. He knows the word and he practices the word. In the Bible context, he must be a husband of one wife, not two wives. He must not be given to drunkenness. He must be somebody that is chaste, direct, and truthful. If you read that from verse 1, it gives you the quality of who a pastor must be. That is to say, no lies, no double talk, no backsliding, no hate speeches. He's soft. He lives like Christ. That is the quality of a pastor.
Imam.
He just told the quality of an imam, with the exception of one.
What is that one?
That one to say the husband of one wife. That is the only difference in all he has said. He is indeed a symbol of dignity. He is a symbol of integrity. He is a symbol of transparency. He is a symbol of accountability. Any imam, if he is indeed an imam, he is a symbol of compassion. You don't find hate speech and vulgar language in him. He is a symbol of honesty, purity, and is a symbol of absolute love to all human beings around him.
Imam is taking our own.
He's copying it.
He's taking our own.
I like that. I like that.
Purity, selfishness, love.
That is
The greatest of all is called love by Christian teaching.
Because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us one thing.
What did he tell you?
He said, no one will enter paradise until he has faith. And no one will have faith until he loves. And until he loves. And the Prophet should not teach you how to love. This companion say, yes, O Rasulullah, teach us how to love.
And what did he say?
He said, extend the greeting of peace among yourselves.
No.
Anywhere you go,
I'm waiting.
I think that is Christian.
Go ahead.
It's a Christian greeting. And I think our Muslim brothers are celebrating it more than us.
How?
Because Jesus said to his disciple, when you go into a house, say peace be upon the house. And if there are people of peace, will return it to you. I'm glad my Catholic brothers and sisters are practicing it. But some of us will just say hello, hi. That is not the greeting of a Christian. A greeting of a Christian, when you see your brother, you say peace be unto you or peace be upon you. And a Christian will say and also with you. Some will say and also with your spirit. So this is how Christians need to greet. It was taken by Muslims and they celebrate it more than us.
You know what?
Because Christ came before Muhammad in this world.
He forgot that Muhammad sallallahu tell us that between him and Jesus is just in between the two fingers like this, and he pointed to the two fingernails.
Who said that?
Muhammad. So therefore, Jesus is Muhammad's brother. So Jesus is our Jesus, and Muhammad tell us our faith is incomplete if you don't believe in Jesus. Any Muslim in the world, if he doesn't believe in Prophet Jesus, his faith is incomplete. He is not a Muslim.
Pastor,
If you don't believe in Moses,
he
he is not.
You want to.
If you don't believe in Moses, he is not a Muslim. If you didn't believe in David, he is not a Muslim. In fact, if you didn't believe in Abraham, which platform we are,
The
the father of faith, then he is not a Muslim.
well, it's our father of faith, and we even sing Abraham blessings are mine. So as a Christian, you possess blessings of Abraham. Number two, about talking about the other component of what you have just said.
What did he say?
That if we are believing in Muhammad as a Christian, peace be upon him, it's clearly that when Jesus came, the message of Muhammad was not there on ground, so we could not refer back to that. But believe if Jesus were to come after the prophet, he will have asked us also probably to enjoy some of those qualities that he taught. However, the concept of loving your neighbor as yourself, the concept of saying, do unto others what you want others to do unto you, is a golden rule that is enshrined in our traditions. I think also in your tradition, you are better to say it than me. But all around it, sir, if we do develop these qualities and live by it, we'll have peace, we'll have security in this country. But anyway, I don't know what Imam has to say.
He
but this is
talk
my
about
thought.
security. And security, the exact opposite insecurity is what is hitting us in this country today.
No, we'll discuss
In
that
these
one
nations.
extensively.
So therefore, my brother, one of the key important responsibility of an imam is to be a symbol of promoting peace and security anywhere he is. Symbol of security. He secured and prepare his own neighborhood for safety and the sense of security. He promotes safety and the sense of security. Any imam whose attitude and behavior, his neighbor is not safe from the evil of his hand, from the evil of his mouth, from the evil of his eye, and honor and their property, then mean they are not secured from him. He is not a true Muslim. This is the prophetic tradition, and we know that.
From what you have just said, I will have allowed you to continue on your own because I'm really enjoying it. One thing I've been able to bring out is all these men of God that you are calling prophets, or how do you call them, from the Bible and the Quran?
Yes.
From all indication, right from Abraham that we are professing here, they all come from the same God with the same message, but with his own peculiarity of the people he met at the time that he came with his message. And that is a summary of what you have just said now, because you said, Adibi Jesus, Adibi that Muhammad came before Jesus from the biblical teaching. Jesus will have said so many things about Muhammad. And now that Muhammad, Jesus came before Muhammad, that was why Muhammad was able to say so many things about Jesus Christ, alayhi salatu wasalam. So, meaning is that all these men of God, they are actually from the same source, the same message they brought, but with peculiar messages at a particular group to a particular group of people. So there is no need for us to say, is this, is that, I'm this, I'm that. All what we need to do to have sound education.
Absolutely.
If you are a Christian, go and know your religion. If you are a Muslim, go and know your religion. So just assume those people that assume that follows their whims and caprices, they are the ones that are giving us problem. And those who are actually hawkers of religion, they only hawk it because they are looking for what they want to eat. That the one that I think that causes this. If you really have knowledge, look at how Pastor was making reference to Catholic Church. I'm sure he's not a Catholic.
I'm not. I'm of Assembly of God, Northern Nigeria.
It means that is a Pentecostal.
Yes, Pentecostal.
So it means, and Pentecostal is like a third generation or fourth generation to Catholic. What I mean, when you have the Catholic, you have the Anglican, you have the Methodist, you have the
Wesleyans.
Exactly.
And before you now get to Pentecostal, and despite that, he was able to appreciate what Catholicism has done. But to me, I always refer to Catholic as the father, the grandfather of faith itself, because they remember the first meeting in 325 AD during when Constantinople. That was served, and the Catholic will appreciate that when they that the leader then was Constantine. Then the first I want to remember the name of what they do every 10 years.
The Council of Nicaea.
The Council of Nicaea. And also, he was able to appreciate the Muslim and not appreciate the Christian, meaning that these messages are just one. We will go on a short break so that before we now discuss where we are coming from.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Yeah, welcome back. You are just joining us. This is Abrahamic Mission, and we are discussing the role of religious leaders in ensuring peace and security in our nation. You know, I've introduced to them that Dr. Pastor James and Imam Ashafa of Interfaith Mediation Center in Kaduna, they are the one that will explain to us. Now we have had the role of religious leaders, the who is a religious leader, but we have a challenge at our hand as a nation. There is crisis here, there is crisis there. The Muslim.
Thank you. We got here as a nation because of collective unhealed memories.
Collective
unhealed memories. And narratives that we give to our children by us. It was passed to us by our parents, we are passing it to the children. And these narratives have caused to divide our relationship. We now live in clusters, in places we perceive as safe spaces, which ordinarily, when we were growing up, it wasn't like that. We lived together. So we got here because people were not able to heal their pains, and they transferred the pains to the next generation. As a wise man was saying, that anger not transformed is transfer. So we are receiving an anger that has not been transformed, and we are using the anger to ventilate pains against our brothers and sisters, their blood upon your head. It is unfortunate that we got into this orbit and we cannot see clearly to advise our followers against dangerous speeches, hate speeches, and behaviors.
How do we get here?
Absolutely. One of the another important element I feel got here was we changed our value system is changing. We are moving away from the values of dignity, of honesty and transparency as a symbol of a righteous person, of a committed person, to materialism and greed. How much, not how well, but how much you have, how much you worth. People give you, respect you because of your wristwatch, because of the cloth you wear, because of the shoe you wear. If you're a young man, because of the type of handset you have in your hand, determine your dignity, your honor. And others, because of the car or the type of houses you have. In those days, it was not. People were respected and honored because of what the good thing that come out of them, not what that they were. These are one of the major challenges, in addition to what the pastor have said, that have caused us to find ourselves in this mess. Today, materialism is the key, important deciding factor. Two, it is not about the well-being of all, it is the well-being of I. I over us, us, us. In those days, it is the community spirit. We have the African adage that says it takes a whole village to bear a child. But today, every child to his mother, every child to himself. This is where we find ourselves. That's why we are possessed by greed on the continent. People doesn't know enough is enough. And when you don't know enough is enough, you will never have enough. Today we live on promoting the template of fear. We live in fear, more fear, more fear, more fear, and because of the level of that fear of unknown, it creates high level of insecurity in our society that we witness today. Everybody want to make it through every means necessary. Through all means necessary. In those days, we don't eat what is negative. People they fear anything that will mess up the family names. No child wants to do it because my father's family name, it cannot get spoiled for me. That was the virtue we have yesterday. But today, it doesn't matter. Just make it.
Just make it.
Just make it. That is the challenge we have.
I know many of us are itching on this program. You want to say something, you want to do something. You can be part of this program just only by sending text messages or WhatsApp messages to this number 070 449. Let me come again. 070 449. That is the number. Just send your text messages, your WhatsApp messages. Write your name and where you are writing from. They're very important. Please. Very soon we will stop reading messages that has no name and where they are writing from. Please let us know your thinking and your take on this. You are saying, just go and make it. Is that the reason why we are now killing ourselves? What about the messages that comes out from our religious homes now? Because only those, if people come to the mosque or churches now, only those that will be in the forefront are people who have made it, irrespective the sources of their wealth. And what we hear from religious houses now is that you just have to go and make it.
It's about the flamboyant style that we have learned. At marriage, we spend excessively. At giving birth, we spend excessively. When we die, we spend excessively. And it now has become a competition. If you don't bury your parents well, you will be laughed at. The value has changed. Religious leaders have compromised. What we used to frown at, we do not. If today, as Imam Fawad, you come, and I know you are rich, if I know you are rich, I will give you the front seat. The one that is more righteous, rich before God, is kept behind. That is supposed to change. Our religious leaders must begin to preach new values of integrity. I say, even if today you have money in the church as a pastor, you spend that money, you should account to a body. Give a receipt. Don't say you spent it. Because those who went to get this money to give you, some stayed in the sun, some were in the market, some were beaten, and so because of this, you are a steward of that. And that's why, sir, I was so shocked one day. A minister was saying, let's go and fight them. Then another sensible minister asked him, will you take the sword to go and fight? Then it dawned on him that he is leaving his responsibility is carried by emotion. Religious leaders must remove sentiment, remove emotion, think rightly. And for those listening, they should also create an enabling environment to give those who have negative narratives, make their narratives inconsequential and not strong. Because if they don't create the enabling environment, those people giving negative narrative will be cashing on those environments that are not conducive to promote hate, and hate to anger to justifying violence by any means. And those who are even causing insecurity, some of them, according to those who have been taken, they will say, we are doing this because we don't have another job. They will now be justifying it on the fact that there was no job for them. But that is not the solution.
Imam.
Absolutely. The solution does not lie. I remember two important factors. For us in Islam, as a Muslims, if you are true to your Muslim traditions, you cannot cause harm or pain to others. You cannot get money from illegitimate source. When you have illegitimate money, it means you are going to die, and then on the day of judgment, you are going to wake up humiliated. The Prophet says, who is the poorest on earth? Who is the most poorest person? He says it's not the one who has so much huge money. The poorest person is the one on the day of judgment. He has prayed, he worked hard, he put everything together, and his bill of work was so huge that everybody seems to see the mountain of his good work. But when they start the judgment, and they say, oh, he harmed this guy, remove from his good work and pay. He steal from that one, take it from his good work and pay. He has commit atrocity against that person, take the value and pay. And so much they pay all his debt. The value of his evil he has did will quantify with the good work, and he has no any good work again to pay. He become morally bankrupt spiritually to pay for the debt he earned if he has taken from the pain he caused on others. Then they will now say reverse. All the evil they did, take from their negative and add to him. And the person will go to hell.
So it's becoming minus.
It become minus, and they put this add to him, take for the evil, the value of the evil he has done, and they start paying him back, and God will pay the other person back. Like when AMCON is now paying this bank is now paying bad debt with the money from other source to pay back the money. That is what happened. When people become corrupt, because of their level of their corruptions, they become spiritually bankrupt. And when they stay bankrupt, they become morally bankrupt. When they become morally bankrupt, they become possessed by greed. And when they become possessed by greed, even their own brothers, their own relation will never enjoy the best of them. And the consequences is death. Today we saw many people, billionaires, many billionaires yesterday, who today are sleeping on the street. Two today are homeless. We saw many. We saw how many billionaires today who immediately die within the first 3 years of their death. All those money they acquired, their children have disposed them negatively. Why do you go beyond your own need? Why are we putting ourselves in this challenge? It is simply because you just have to make it at all costs. Because the value there is that the more you have, the more respected you become. Whereas in the tradition of our faith, the less you have, the more transparent you are, the more respected you become in your community.
Now, I'll start with you. I know you want to say something. Now, what do we do? Religious leaders, what role are they now going to play in ensuring that this crisis is removed and is also prevented future ones?
There are two important ways. One, we need to define religious leaders. There are three categories of classification of religious leaders.
Okay.
You have the good religious leaders, who are the ideal religious leaders. And the ugly religious leaders is the one, he's a moving encyclopedia. He has knowledge of the of religion, but he will manipulate religion to manipulate the mindset of anybody he wants to. He just legitimize or illegitimize. He harmonize or halalize religion. Meaning, if he harmonize or halalize, he either legitimize religion to justify his cause or illegitimize religion to justify it. These are people who politicize religion and religionize the political process. We have many now among religious leaders. They are calling them conflict entrepreneurs. These are the group of religious leaders you have in our community. But the ideal religious leader, they are noble, humble, silent. They don't go from offices to offices, from rich man house to rich man house, from that politician to the other political houses. They live secured, protected, live within their own means. And they were able to guide and protect the life of their own people. When they go to read there, they only go to advise, to counsel them on how to get it right. These are the ideal. So when anybody, and that is the most important thing we need to do, is religious people need to pick up their responsibility. We have majority of them, but silent majority, who doesn't speak in public space, who keep it to themselves. We need to wake up the conscience of these religious leaders, or else people have hijacked the identity of religious leaders. And today we see what is happening in our society. Cultism, blood, maiming, killing, promoting hate. These are what is happening. Who is doing this? Religious leaders who are people who have stolen identity of our religion and do that in the name of God of love and God of compassion.
Pastor, what do we do as religious leaders?
One, pray and call for prayer. There should be a clarion call for God to deliver the nation from the catastrophe that has befell us, which is security, insecurity, and the issues of lack of peace. The fear, and fear is of the devil. The Christian traditions say when you are afraid, you are tormented by the devil. So we must remove fear and now begin to work together to promote peace. The issue of competing over how many, when there is a crisis, young men will be counting how many churches did they burn or how many mosques did they burn. It is time for religious leaders to preach love, real love, and excessive love, that you will now begin to compete with your Muslim brother. Show him that you are more lovable than him, and he too will try to show his own level. So when we compete in trying to be better, I say, okay, you give me one drum of yam, and I give you one truck of yam. In that way, we begin to compete. That is what should be. What religious leaders to do is to promote this. Next to that, religious leaders should guide their mouth. Poison. It says, whatever proceeds out of your mouth, you will give account of it in the end of the day. So what are we saying, sir? There is the need for us. I know that there was this coming together of religious leaders to present a bill. Call it Religious Tolerance and Hate Speech Bill. It was given to the it was formally given to the Minister of Interior, and as we follow up on it, it was given to the Minister of Attorney General, wherever, and that bill is somewhere there. For the first time, Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs sent their lawyer. For the first time, can't send their lawyer. For the first time, the Ministry of Human Rights Commission came together and fashioned out something that there will be no what we call fatwa. Somebody who will say, I don't agree, religious pronouncement by those religious leaders. If this is promoted, it is we religious leaders say, check us when we speak evil. Check us when we preach evil. We are saying check us and sanction us. And I think it is the best thing that can happen to any government, that religious leaders say, we want to stop this thing. Help us to stop it. I think the government should see you and you give them this document so that if they are not working on it, they should work on it. This is important for this country. Religious leaders are doing something and they want the government to support.
And I think in supporting back up to that, the issue of investment, if you look at the last 10 years, the security budget for security has never come number 10. It's always number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the last 10 years of this country. Why are governments not investing much on peace?
Through religious leaders.
Through religious leaders. And now see religious platform. To say, since everybody listen, either he's a general, or he's a businessman, or he's a politician,
the president
or he's a whatever, including the president, they will come before imam or the pastor to seek for blessing, to listen to him because they see God talking to them. Why don't you invest in the building the capacity of these religious leaders to promote the culture of peace and acceptance? Today we live in a world where climate change, people are dying because of climate change. People are dying. Pastoralists and farmers are killing themselves. Why? Because little access to resources, little access to what? To land, to water. If this is happening in our society today, and many are dying, the whole source of the crisis in the northwest was issue of land. The Lake Chad has just dried up, almost back to about. It's drying up to less than 20% of its capacity now today.
Former capacity,
to its former capacity, and many people have nothing to do. So easily the bad guys hijack it. So what we need to do, government say, every school plant a tree. From primary school to university, before you graduate, you must plant 100 trees.
Imam,
I
should think that it should be the role of the religious leader, because within our text, there are injunctions. The first work that God gave Adam and Eve in the Bible, he said, till the garden, prepare the garden, protect it.
Okay.
So
I know.
If we tell him, in my own tradition, the purpose say one of the best work you can do, even when you leave, you continue having the what do you call it? The reward. Special reward.
The current reward.
Recurrent benefit. Dividend is planting a tree.
So I think, but this is part of security. That's why we are bringing.
I think
our environment.
Our leaders are bringing is about religion and climate change. I think I will look for a day that we will discuss the role of religious leaders in ensuring what do you call it in the issue of climate change. We want to look at it holistically from religious point of view. What does God say about keeping our environment safe? Is there in our books that we should make our environment safe? What can we do to safeguard and promote good environment? United Nations is even promoting something on this green environment recently.
We look forward to that.
We look forward, but probably we will look for a way of how to promote this, because every aspect of human life, human endeavor is about religion.
Absolutely.
Is about there's no aspect of human endeavor. I remember when I was doing a research on religion and environment, when I was shocked when I got so many things from the Quran and from the Bible. I said, so Does it? I thought it's a new creation
No.
of the environment. When a scholar was even explaining about to me from the Quran, where say the second verse that God revealed was about the environment.
Wow.
So I was shocked. So, but it's not today.
Not for today.
We talk about it. We talk about it.
Yes.
But what do we do? This killing is becoming too much. You have mentioned the issue of hate speeches. You have mentioned the issue of revenge. I was listening to His Eminence the Sultan one day in one of his public something, how he was emphasizing on why the Muslim should see the next person as his own neighbor. Why you should give what you have. That you ask, what do you have as a Muslim? Is it hate that you have, you give to others? Is it sadness that you have that you give to others? He said, no, you must give what you have. Then search yourself. What do you have? And I was also listening to Pastor Adeboye about this xenophobic something. He was advising Nigerians that they should not fight the South Africans. He said, he mentioned an example that when he was University of Nigeria, Nsukka, that time was when the civil war was about starting. That there was a day they asked all the students in University of Nigeria to come back home. They now had that started beating the Igbos in Ibadan. So because of that, I say it was God that saved him from that Nsukka then to back to Ibadan. So what would Bishop was trying to say was that do not take revenge. When you had something, just use your senses first. When you want to take revenge, is it the person that offended you that you are dealing with, or somebody that is innocent that does not know?
You are transferring your anger
this
on it.
anger on it. So as religious leaders, in your final word, what should they do to make sure that we
See these boys who have caused us pains in the Northeast. The people of the Northeast and Northwest, wherever they have caused pain, we should learn to forgive them. It is only with love and forgiveness that we can win them back. The radicalization, if you don't involve religious leaders to set the setting at home, to receive these people, you will all be building a spiral of revenge. So what you do is get religious leaders involved in your work and you will have success. Only spirituality can change anger to love.
I'm listening.
Very importantly, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has demonstrated that in Mecca, after all the persecution and humiliation to his family, when he has victory over Mecca, Muhammad returned. It used the concept of idfa billati here, Hassan. He used the concept of returning evil with what is better. In our community today, wherever we are, in your engagement with different people, how much have you been able to return the evil done to you with goodness? There's time to think back, to unwind, to look back into our history, those negative memory of the past, and look at those positive things. And everybody you met, he must have done something good for you or the family one day. At least because of one thing somebody have done, you need to forgive the 19 he has done that is negative.
Before we end the program today, you discussed the issue of a governor of Plateau State, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
that he declared a day of
Absolutely.
what do you call it?
Forgiveness.
Day of forgiveness. We are
Yes,
still
state.
waiting for His Excellency, the Governor of Plateau State, to come on this platform. We want to know why he has done it, what he has achieved by it, and what he wants to achieve by declaring the day of forgiveness. Anybody that can get in touch with the Governor of
Plateau State.
I want you to say it in one word.
Yes,
Just one
Right
word.
Honorable Lalong to come and tell the people why he declared 7th of February as a day of peace and his holiday.
Bank holiday.
Probably we'll see people
For
who
me.
are actually working for peace. That's why we want him.
Please.
Imam, I know you
I
still
will
want to say
just say
something.
it in one word that Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Plateau State, we are inviting you on this platform. This is the first time in Nigeria for a governor to come out and say, I am sorry if I've done worse.
Anything wrong.
And if I've done anything wrong, forgive me. And he declared a garden of forgiveness.
Thank you so
Day of
much.
forgiveness. We are
You
waiting
can
for
join
on
this program by
Please.
send a message to 070-449-44949. Again, 070-449-44949. And you can also join us every Sunday by 4 p.m. for the repeat program. We thank you so much for coming on this program. Until we meet next week, this is Imam Fuadi. I'm saying bye-bye.
The NTA and the Village Headmaster family are pleased to announce in commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the award-winning Village Headmaster television series. Monday, 28 October 2019, command performances of the Village Headmaster at the Terraculture Arena, Victoria Island, Lagos. Red carpet, 5 p.m. and live performance, 6 p.m. Tuesday, 29th October 2019 at 10 a.m. Roundtable discussion at Freedom Park, Broad Street, Lagos. Theme: Drama, a tool for national development. Join the NTA and the Village Headmaster family as we celebrate this Golden Jubilee. Attendance at both events is strictly by invitation. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
Disaster occurs on frequent basis. Some we hear of, others we do not. Terrorism, flood, fire, earthquake, car or plane crashes, building collapse, and even armed robbery, each bringing assets and revenue loss, human mortality, and in 90% of survivors, great loss of hope. Flooding is the most common of all environment hazards, and it regularly claims over 20,000 lives per year and adversely affects about 75 million people worldwide. Nigeria has had its fair share.